I meant goddamn.
I was saying, did you just become religious?
I'm warning you. The next podcast I'm on, I'm going to sing that tune while it goes. And you're just gonna have to keep it as that day's intro.
You know what that reminds me of? I just thought of it. It reminds me of IT Crowd.
Like, a little bit,
yeah. It does.
It does a little bit have that sort of flavor to it.
Please don't sue us, IT Crowd.
Our intro, by the way, the intro music is from Joseph Valero, who used to do the Angry Cuddles webcomic with me way back in the day. Mm-hmm. And sort of when he left and then we ended up rebooting and we had to rename and everything, he made some music for us. So there's still a little soul of Joseph here in the gutter.
Joseph Diddy.
A little bit of Joseph. Nice. Guys, welcome to the gutter. My name is Steve-O. This is podcast episode 15 from season 3. Today we're going to be talking about what game you should stream. So whether you are brand new to streaming, you're thinking about starting, or if you've been streaming for years and you just getting those where you finish a game, you're like, I want to stream something, but I don't know what. We're going to help you out today. We have stuff to talk about.
I also feel like it's a personal attack because he's staring at me the whole time.
Whether
he's staring at me the whole time.
Should you stream?
Personal attack.
And we'll talk about why and what makes a game fun to watch. So first, what you been playing? Alex, what you been playing, buddy?
Well, I've actually been playing a lot of Minecraft lately.
Yeah, Wayne was saying Minecraft for days. Minecraft for months. What took you to Minecraft?
Well, I had some friends we were playing at QuakeCon, and I bought it while I was there and started playing with them, and just kind of got caught into it.
You just bought Minecraft?
Yeah, just like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
So I'm already like into it, and they have a server, and it's like modded to hell, and there's like a lot of different things that you can build on it.
Look at this guy. You guys are so alike in a lot of ways, but you just broke his heart.
I know. I can't stand that game.
It's simulator games. It's cool. I mean, there's tons of them out there. I mean,
did I destroy my micro? I'm sorry, game guy.
Is it not working anymore?
No,
I think it's still good.
Don't do it again.
But no, it's fun.
So
I like ran into my like first creeper and like skeleton and shit. So I'm sitting and playing, and then I have music going too, and all of a sudden I just blow up and die and I like scream and yell, and then my friend was like, ha ha, you just ran into your first creeper.
So yeah, the creepers like they sneak up to you and then they hiss and explode.
Yeah.
Right. That's terrifying.
It kind of is, especially when you're like in a cave and you're like not really paying attention to your surroundings.
You hear it, but you don't see it.
Yeah.
Can you custom a
But if you hear it, like a
little blue-haired guy creeping around,
and like instead of hissing, it just goes, hey, pops. But if you hear it, it's in range, right?
Yeah.
Like if you hear the hiss,
range.
But if you hear it, what I mean is you can't hear it and then have it explode and not hurt you. You have to run.
I think you could. You
can get away from it.
You can get away from it, but what I mean
if you're
is,
standing still and you hear the hiss and you don't do anything, you don't get hit.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna get hit if you don't do something, right? So how much of Minecraft have you like done since QuakeCon?
Something.
Is it like every day?
I mean, not every day. I mean, I spent a lot over the weekend. I mean, I've probably put, I don't know, maybe 24 hours into it.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's been like
a good time
a week.
That's a good time thing. What about you guys in chat? What have you been playing?
And Vin, I agree with you. I think if you have dogs, they will alert you of creepers, unless there's a loving dogs where they just like go up and love on them.
There's dogs that like love creepers?
No, but they like people. So it's not necessarily like alerting you of a villain. It's just like, oh, person.
Oh, it's just like,
like, hey, give me love.
Oh, Game Guy's playing Minecraft right now.
Oh, it's just like the,
Nice. And if we're on topic in a bit, Velocidotus thinks that you should stream House Flipper, which I think is actually a really good suggestion. But we'll get to that when we get to topic. What have you guys been playing in the chat? JB, what about you? What have you been playing, buddy?
Keeping on with that Spider-Man, man. I am
Spidey?
enjoying it.
How far are you now?
So I'm about 75-80% done with the main campaign. Okay. I'm getting close to like
So you fought most of the Sinister Six.
Yes, I've dealt with most of the Sinister Six, and the fighting two of them at the same time it's super dope. And like what's really cool is when you get to use them against each other. So like Scorpion's coming in and starting to poke at me, and I'm like getting all hallucinated. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna deal with you in a second. And he jumps down, and then I get in the way, and then Rhino comes and just smashes through Scorpion. Nice. I'm like, that's what you get! And like I get like super like pumped. I'm like, I used your own brains against you.
Spider-Man, bitch.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Hey, Gripping
I am getting a bit bogged down by like some of the base stuff and some of the collectibles and the Taskmaster challenges. really hit me hard because I can straight silver all of them, but like you gotta get good for gold.
See,
and
I disagree with the repetitive thing. Like I get sort of like a bit of a time sink with it a little bit, but I never felt like any of the stuff in Spider-Man was like draggy.
It's very minimal, actual. I'm getting bogged down with it because I've got really limited time. What with job and family and stuff that I'm taking care of. I don't have that much time, and so it's hard for me because I really want to get my stuff completed at the same time as I get the campaign completed. And I feel like I've advanced the story too much that I have to stop and
Time to get away from me! I'm 100% Spider-Man.
I'm like,
Do you dress as Spider-Man when you play Spider-Man?
no.
Because you totally should.
I put my socks on.
Spider-Man socks. I thought you meant you literally wore only socks when you play Spider-Man. I was like, that's an oddly specific.
I can just see JB though playing Spider-Man in one of those Spider-Man onesie costumes. His wife comes in.
I can't see.
JB, it's time to get the baby. I'm Spider-Man. Playing Spider-Man.
I'd love to see that.
That'd be amazing.
I once had, so I may have told the story before, but we used to have a Steel Battalion. Remember the mech game? We actually have a controller over there. With
so
the
much controller.
Giant, and then the foot pedals and everything. And so I had it set up in the living room once, and I was going to like a job interview or something, and Sam, one of the other gutter nerds, I was like, hey, I'm going to go to this job interview, but I'll be back like this afternoon. Feel free to hang out and game or whatever. So I go, and I actually came back. Like I didn't have the right dress, and so they rescheduled me. They were supposed to have given me a shirt, and they didn't. So I went home.
Interview.
And I came home, and so he wasn't expecting me to come home. And he was sitting at the Steel Battalion station with a World War II helmet on, ski goggles on, and like a duster or something. And so I came in, and I was like, eh, and he goes, oh, and like looks at me like scared, like fully decked out in his gear. He's like, all right.
Oh my.
Like, not even mad.
Yeah.
Way to go.
It looks awesome. It looks great. Okay, so Dotus has been playing Sea Dogs and Mordhau. Mordhau is the melee combat game, right? Like
Never heard of it.
Sword.
Never heard of it.
Really?
Nope. I don't know.
Winvin's playing Ni no Kuni.
I've been playing
Grippingar's playing Mario Kart.
some.
I know what you've been playing. I don't got to ask you anymore.
What have I been playing?
You've been playing TFT.
I have been playing TFT. I'm playing, and Ranked came out in TFT, so I am Gold 3 in TFT on the ladder. So maybe.
Are you progressing faster in TFT than you are in LOL?
Yeah, in
League of Legends has a spin-off game.
They have a sub game. They have a sub
Team-
game, Team Fight Tactics.
Thank you.
And it's an auto chess game, just like the Dota auto chess game, except it's based on the League of Legends characters, which is great to me. Different classes, different class systems. They're updating it very, very fast and progressing with all the bugs and everything quickly with it. New champions should be coming out next patch. And it's just super fun, like different class bonuses. So me and my friends were playing lots of Ranked.
What the heck is auto chess?
Auto
Auto chess
chess
is you go into a match with like 8 other people or something, 7 or 8 other people, and there's some random champions that you get, and then you do tactical stuff.
So let me explain a little bit better.
Chess.
So auto chess, at least the one I've been playing it, is that you start off with tier 1 units. 3 tier 1 units equals a tier 2 unit. There is different classes that give you class bonuses.
I've heard you explain auto chess like different times, and I still don't quite get it.
But like I tried to show you, but you didn't watch. And then you have the RNGesus factor where everything is random. And there's also an economy involved. So you have to manage your gold by selling units or not selling units and keeping it. So you keep an economy so you can buy better
You watched
units.
some of this, right?
Yeah.
How would you describe auto chess?
RNG take the wheel?
Yeah, it's a lot of RNG. So, like, at the beginning of the game, you choose one character, and that's what you kind of start with. But, like, each round, you gain money, and you're able to choose. It gives you a list of, like, 5 characters down at the bottom, and you can buy them with the money that you earn. And, the more rounds you win, the larger your
In any round, are you attacking people?
Yes.
Yeah, so each round, well, how many? There's like 5 rounds?
There's like 5 initial rounds.
You take turns moving and attacking.
Right.
Right.
No, you don't. So you set your units and they automatically fight each other.
Yeah, you don't do anything.
You just set your units
Okay.
like a chessboard.
You hit the
set
play
it
button
and it does it automatically.
Okay,
But
now I have a little bit
you have
more
a time frame to set them.
understanding. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, I can show you another game after this if you would like. If you'd like to watch, I will do that. for you.
Perhaps instead of a post to chat, we can see some.
I can show you some
TFT.
League of Legends. Absolutely.
Yeah, we might be able to do that.
Wow.
So I've been playing a few things, but the new thing for me is Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
yeah.
I started Sekiro last Friday, and shit, that game's good. Oh my
Right?
god, it's so good.
So
I've
it's,
heard you rant about it on 2 or 3 separate occasions.
yeah.
And you have yet to lose,
Lose steam or
enthusiasm.
fervor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit.
which says something about that game.
It's
to me.
really good.
It's not really a Souls game. It definitely has elements of sort of a Soul style game in it, but it's really more like Tenchu or maybe even Ninja Gaiden, maybe a little bit. But it's really its own thing. It really feels like its own game. Instead of stamina management, where you know, in Dark Souls, if you run or swing, you lose stamina, so you have to sort of, there's none of that. You just have a poise meter, and so as you block, it takes away your poise.
Like
And
your
if your
guard.
poise is broken, your guard's broken, then, or likewise with an enemy, then you can do a finishing move, like a death blow. Most enemies die in a single death blow. You can break their poise and kill them. There's a heavy stealth element, a lot of mobility to it, but it is supposed to be very brutal and difficult, it's like a Souls game. It's a From Software game. Posture is fake stamina.
Yeah.
Or poise is fake
I
stamina.
like that idea. I do. Poise essentially acts as stamina, but it's used, as I understand it, a very strategic way. Like when you're attacking, your poise is what keeps
Well, it's a
you
little different.
defending.
You can
and then
you can
be
run and
worn
move
down.
all the time without affecting your poise. You can swing as much as you want without affecting your poise. So it's a little bit different because in stamina management,
Poise like
you're
taking a blow, right?
Yes,
Poise
yeah.
is almost like
Yeah.
your constant, your
Whenever
defense.
you're taking-
It's like
a
your
guard.
Whenever
constitution
you're taking
with your
damage.
weapon.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
yeah.
you get worn down, and eventually, like, I just can't keep up.
But
And then you
similarly, in Dark Souls, if you block and you take a hit, it affects your stamina like it affects your
Right.
poise.
It also
Right.
is affected with your health too.
Right,
But also with whenever you're low on poise, you can just hold it and you can gain it back faster.
Right. Yeah. So it's good to block to regain your poise, as opposed to like in
Running
Dark
around.
Souls, you would want to lower your block. If you block, you gain stamina back at a slow
So,
rate.
but
you
like
know what I
holding
mean?
the block, you're not going into offensive.
Similar
so you're just
things
kinda slowing
with
down and
different
just
flavors to it, for
protecting
sure.
yourself, building back
Yeah.
up the poise
But-
instead of going on the attack.
But the thing that's unusual is that when I started the game, I was like, I'm gonna go 1 hour without dying. So there's like a semi-scripted death near the beginning. There is technically a way to do it if you're like super hot shit, but there's a point at which you lose your arm, you're defeated, you lose your arm, and then they, give you the mechanical one.
So you could go through the entire game without losing your arm, in theory.
I think you have to lose the arm.
You do.
But you can win the fight and lose the arm, or lose the fight and lose the arm.
Yeah.
So there's my asterisk.
You lose an arm either way.
Yeah,
Right.
but there's my asterisk. With that in mind, I was like, I'm gonna go the full hour, 1 full hour without dying, and I made it an hour, and I was like, maybe I can get to the rest of the stream without dying. I got to the rest of the stream.
You're like, well, I'd already gone 1 hour.
Might
Might as
as
well
well
go
run.
two.
You just got through the training. That's all. You
Right. Well, I got through like the first, like I did a 2.5 hour stream, and I was just like, I was super careful, very stealthy. I would, like, if I got overwhelmed, I would get the fuck out of there.
Yeah,
And just the fact that I made it a whole stream
So,
without dying
Leon,
to me was
you
a huge
played with-
achievement.
Strategy?
With some strategery. Well, this is also the same guy that like fucks up in Spyro by slamming his head into the stairs 3 times in a row and falling off a cliff. So it was really like a
You're like all over the
who
place.
the shit is this playing Sekiro this last week.
You're
So
like,
join me on Friday for the first death.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm sure it's coming.
First Death Friday.
it's
That's
No,
the
first death Friday. That's a good.
It's
that's it.
imminent.
Yeah, it is imminent. Imminent or eminent?
Imminent.
Imminent.
You're eminent. It's imminent.
It's imminent.
Eminence is something of regality or
Royal,
reality.
yes, your
Project.
eminence.
Your
Eminences.
eminence.
Your imminency.
Oh my gosh, that would be such a cool name for like a horrible bad guy coming into like.
Knowledge just
like,
lets you to know how it
like,
is.
you're the imminency. Like, yes, I'm the one who's gonna destroy and conquer your entire land. I am your imminency.
Hey, you don't get to take that away from me now. Affix it to security until you get to the mini boss. No, so yeah, I did. There's like a first mini boss that you get to. You do not get to take that away from me now. This is just still a tough
It just
ass
cuddles
game.
the fucking. So
It
you're
is a
saying that he had a
tough-ass
warm
game.
blanket around him the whole time? No, I like that. I'm gonna imagine.
Shadows never
Nah.
got
No,
twice.
it is like that. They're like,
Little
Okay,
warm
this
blanket
is gonna
around
be
you.
fun.
when he-
I discovered
This is gonna be great.
They
I'm sure
cradle
I'll
you.
enjoy this.
Shadows never
And then
die
you get
twice.
fucking
is the name.
slaughtered.
Shadows die twice.
Shadows die twice.
Yeah, they always die twice.
Has that in any way, shape, or form been referenced or used as part of the story thus far, or is it some dumb frick name that they just decided to make it look cooler?
It's like the mechanic of
The mechanic is you die once, and
die.
you can come. You get to resurrect. It takes a second death to kill you.
And,
But I have not experienced that yet because I haven't experienced my first death.
and the second death is that like delete your file kills you.
No, you just start over from your last checkpoint.
Okay.
But you do get 4 revives by the end of the game. Yeah,
I
so
only used
Shadows
2.
are quite...
Dude, I screwed up so hard on that game.
Really?
Yeah, like I didn't get any of the extra revives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, I can't imagine it'd be. It was Sekiro. Shadows
threw
die
it
Twice or 3 or 4.
Shadows die 17 times.
I'm not dead yet. No.
Shadows die twice unless you get the upgrades, and then it
Then you
The
turn
sequel
into
to Shadows die sometimes.
Then you turn into the Terminator and you never die.
It's
Okay,
just-
so-
it doesn't flow very well.
So let's shift into topic. So today we're going to talk about some games that you might want to stream and why. So let me start off with a little bit of an intro. Whether you're starting off or you've been a seasoned streamer, of course stream whatever you want. Stream whatever gives you energy. It really doesn't matter. Hey, Shepherd Town, podcast time. Thank you for the cheer, buddy. So my blanket statement is stream whatever you want. Don't worry about what's popular. Don't worry about it. Just stream what you want. That's the basic thing. But we're gonna put that aside because we're gonna go sort of get into detail on some things and what might be things to think about, and also give you some
we can
strategies.
Get rid of the warm and fluffy.
Yeah, get rid of the warm and
Obviously,
fluffy.
stream
Obviously, stream whatever you want.
Yeah.
Who the fuck am I to tell you what to stream? Who am I?
Steve-O.
Oh, right. Yes, I'm Steve-O, so I can tell you what to stream. So, first of all, does anybody have a game recommendation for, let's say, someone who is starting out? And if you guys want to talk about your specific streams, if you are a streamer, later on in the show, I will ask you about your specific stream, like what your shtick is, what the thing is about your stream, and we can help you.
Oh,
if you
okay,
want.
I got you.
Yeah.
I know exactly what to say.
So, you're starting off,
Oh, okay.
brand new streamer.
Brand new stream.
What should they play and why?
Well, I mean, I kind of have a little list of just recommended games.
Yeah, what are some
So,
recommended
like-
games? And tell me why they would be fun to watch.
So, I mean, I guess just to give a kind of overview.
Sure.
I would pick like games that are kind of high action, might.
Hi, Nicky Wolf.
I guess just a lot more fun for viewing and playing. So, I mean, I like playing Overwatch. I mean, that's still
Sure.
a popular game.
Do you like watching Overwatch?
I love watching Overwatch.
Okay.
I can watch it too.
I watched some Lucio Ball today, and that was dope.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can see why, because it's easy for a viewer to pick up. Like, you don't have to be like, oh man, like they've been gaming for an hour. I'm lost. I don't know where they are. You
Right,
can just
it's
pick
not a
up and be like,
story.
all right, I'm just gonna jump in on that next match and watch them go.
So that's a good point. And sort of what my first point was, something to keep in mind, like something that you might consider, is games with bite-sized runs. So this could be a competitive game.
Sure.
Something like Overwatch or
Or the League of
Halo
Legends.
or League of Legends.
Yeah.
Because any match is going to have its own story,
20,
right?
20 minutes, 30 minutes games, yeah.
Your lights are on. You may resume your normal
Parked in the
show.
driveway today.
I parked in the driveway.
Your lights are on.
Sweet.
This is fantastic.
So I agree with you that high octane fast pace. Absolutely, it's
So
a
you're
good start.
action. But and you can
my keys.
can you do the lights with your keys?
No, I can't.
Oh, Cal's gonna have to go do some stuff.
Be real quick.
So this is something like a competitive game will do, like League of Legends or Overwatch, right? Because
Sure,
you can
yeah.
join a match, but even if you join mid-match, when that match is over, a new story begins, like a new set begins, right? So what do you have on your list that might be good to think about?
So I got another one, Rocket League.
Rocket League is super fun to watch.
I will watch
Dude,
that.
watching them soar up and this guy hit the ball and just some of the
'Cause I'm like,
combos
I
that they
could
do.
never
is just
do
insane.
that.
Exactly.
If you are unfamiliar, so we're going to sort of talk at a base level here. So Overwatch is a team-based, team hero-based competitive game, right?
Right.
So it's a team of 5 versus a team of 5, and you pick heroes and you battle each other. And there's usually some objective involved.
Yep.
Rocket League is like soccer in rocket cars.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
But even if you're not like a sports game fan, I bet you like Rocket League.
Yeah.
If you don't, and I bet Nauj comes in here. If you don't like Rocket League, tell me. If you don't like watching or playing Rocket League, tell me. I've never met someone that didn't like Rocket
I
League.
don't play it, and I don't watch it, not because I'm uninterested. It's just that
It just hasn't happened,
It's lower on my tier list. But I have never not watched it and enjoyed it.
Right.
Right.
Now,
Or never watched it and not enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my segue from what you said. When we were talking about Rocket League, and I'm sitting there like, oh my god, I could never freaking do that. That's awesome. That's where the second thing comes in. Play something you're good at.
Yeah.
That is an example. Not the only way, but if you're really good at something, play the shit out of it,
Yeah.
and people will come watch that.
Right. So
I mean, Ninja
will-
is like the god of.
So I will give an asterisk
Fortnite.
here. So again, a little touch on the warm and fluffy. You don't have to be good at something to play it. You can still be entertaining and bad at something.
Sure.
But
This is what should
but,
you stream. If you want
But
lots of viewers and
if you are thinking, if you have something that you are good at, what are you good at?
I'm not a
You
good.
build Legos.
I am not a good gamer.
You can have a YouTube channel with building Legos.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
5-year-olds are good at that.
Doesn't
That
matter.
doesn't matter. You're
It doesn't matter if it's not in relation to anybody else.
We're gonna stream Jonathan watching Jurassic Park and geeking the fuck.
You had the gears rolling.
Nicky Wolf asked MK11, so there's Mortal Kombat 11.
There
right?
you go,
So
yeah.
this would work, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's-
you have a match, and especially if you're good at it. Again, you don't have to be good.
I know
just
what my
remember.
answer is,
I've watched some Tekken 7, and I've watched some Mortal Kombat, and it is fun. It is fun to watch. This is good stuff.
So, I mean, I guess another thing about that is, I guess I might take this the other way, but with like MK11, that one's supposed to have a really good storyline behind it too. Some
Solid.
games I don't
So
get to play a
good.
lot,
I really enjoy it.
and I might just watch people play it just to catch up on the storyline. I do that with like World of Warcraft and Mortal Kombat.
All right.
Dota says you don't have to be good. Just scream in a funny fashion like Markiplier.
And there's another one.
Yeah. You can
play
be.
something
You can be silly.
play something that is super emotionally impactful towards you. An example: when we played Until Dawn.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
like
I think I have
that
that
one. That one inspired moments of
Yeah.
like pure adrenaline and rush and impulse and screaming. Right? So
Right.
like I don't have to be good at it to be entertaining at it if I'm playing and playing. Oh my God! Like
So
the-
Until Dawn,
Yeah.
for those who don't know, is a horror
Yep.
based game. Where
And
it's like choose
it's
your
a-
own story.
It's like a
It's-
choose your own adventure
it's a
video
choose
game.
your own adventure.
The game you can't fail. I mean, in the sense that
the story will progress.
the story is going to progress no matter what you do.
You can't
and so
game
that's
over.
that's a good thing to think of as if you're streaming as well, because you're making choices and you're seeing outcomes, and characters may live or die, but you're always progressing. You're never going to get stuck at the same thing over and over again,
Right.
because the game will always take you somewhere.
And it's interesting to watch people make those choices.
Right. Yeah.
Like
And
those
you can watch it
sacrifices.
like after I played it with you, I was like, man, I gotta go watch somebody else do it and see how they did it differently.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and that's fun. That's fun. It's super fun.
What about you, Cal? You're starting off. You want to?
Of course, I'm going to go with League.
Sure,
I'm
but
going to
tell
go with
me
League,
why.
but I'm also going to go with, like, guys, because with League, well, for me, there's so many different things you can do with that client, because it's not just League of Legends, right? You have League of Legends as just the client. The base game is the 5v5, but if you wanted to play the Howling Abyss, you could do, Summoner's Rift is the 5v5, Howling Abyss is the 3v3. You have the ARAM, which is 5v5, all random, all middle.
So
down lane,
League of Legends, I mean, you guys probably know what League of Legends is, but Nico, well, thank you for coming by. I really appreciate that. If you are unfamiliar with League of Legends, it's
a MOBA.
so it's a sort of a top-down view, sort of hero-based.
Correct.
You choose a champion that has different abilities.
Correct.
You you have a team, and that you're versus another team, but it's more of a top-down strategic sort of thing. It's real time in the sense that you're activating abilities in real time.
Absolutely.
It's not turn-based or anything like that.
Keys
Yeah.
to use them when you would like to use them. So
And Calvin's gonna I'm about to piss you off with
Oh,
this.
here it comes.
But imagine Overwatch with a top-down view.
no.
See,
That,
yeah,
like-
I think he would. I would say that
That'd be
there's
like Heroes of the Storm.
Here's
there's
so,
a bit
so,
of a-
so here's why that's a no. Now 5v. So League of Legends is more of a defeat the base. Now Overwatch is more of like let's push the cart or let's do something like an objective.
right. Yes.
Objectives
okay.
are different, but
But it is a 5v5 competitive game. Yes.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the similar
Hero
aspect.
based with abilities that are
Yes.
specific and
That
intrinsic
is
to
the
the hero.
similar comparison.
And-
yes.
And,
Now
there,
it hits it
and
well.
there is a good divide, yeah. So if you're just streaming for fun, or if you're streaming to try and be a professional, and I think there's a lot of overlap that can take place, but it is something to
Well,
definitely think about.
I think what now just actually saying is like the professional streaming being like I'm super talented, really good. Versus entertainment. I'm
I see.
sloppy and garbage, but at least I'm fun as heck to watch.
Gotcha.
And then
Okay,
you've got
yeah.
the people who can do both. I'm gonna throw people like PewDiePie and Ninja, who are both good at their games.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, entertaining to watch.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And then they compound that effort and become, multi-millionaire fucking gamers. Fuck you.
I can do that.
Right. Yeah.
No, but yeah, that makes total sense because there's this guy that I love watching on YouTube. He makes really great videos. There's this game called Rust. It's a survival game and kind of battle royale style. But basically, you build a base and you just survive and raid other people's bases. Well, this guy Waylon, I love watching him on YouTube because he builds. He raids bases and then builds a story around it, like production kind of story. Like he
Makes a movie out of it.
Yeah, he makes a movie out of it basically, and he's just narrating the whole thing. And it's just so much fun to watch.
Yeah,
and just listen to it.
So if you're looking for this kind of sort of, let's call, I don't know if we have a term for it, but these games with bite-sized segments. That we're talking about. Usually multiplayer games will have this, but it's not exclusive to multiplayer games. So we have a few different things to think about. This is what makes Battle Royale games good to stream. You may not like Battle Royale games, and don't force yourself to play something you don't like, because no one wants to watch you play something you don't like. That's sort of step one.
You would love to watch me play something I don't like. How dare you?
That's partially true.
Like that.
Sometimes
That's
it's fun to
should
watch
make that a
someone.
stream.
If that's a theme.
There are going to be exceptions.
It's
There are
like
going to be
watching Calvin
exceptions.
play
Oh,
Minecraft.
man, I would watch
Watch
anything
this.
that my
We
wife
can totally
plays
do
because
that.
she would hate it the whole time. I would love to watch that.
But so any BR game, you'll be able to do different sessions, right? Different games. Something like League of Legends, Overwatch, Halo, competitive. We'll have,
don't have to be
a match
invested
and then
into
go again. And also, there's the investment. You can sort of come and go. But there are other things that are not multiplayer though that you can do. So something like Slay the Spire is something that's sneaky teak. It's imagine sort of these strategy card games or even roguelikes. You do a run and then you die, you do a run again. And so each run is its own thing.
Yeah, I got some games like that.
Yeah, what you got?
Heroes of Watchtower or Gungeons.
Enter the Gungeon.
Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah. Enter the Gungeon's a good game. Like,
Basically
have a
just
run.
See how far you can get down.
And you can do different styles of runs also in like Enter the Gungeon. So like Sam and I will stream Enter the Gungeon, and we'll do like a junk run where we destroy all the chests we come across to try to build. You can get a character named Junkin. If you destroy a chest, you get junk. And there's a chance to get a character named Junkin that follows you around and does combat with you. And the more junk you have, the higher level Junkin is. So you basically get like a third party member to fight alongside you. So we'll do a junk run where we, buy our weapons instead of find them in chests and spend a lot of time destroying shit to try and build this other thing.
Gotcha.
So yeah, different runs. Another thing that is super fun to watch, not competitive, but you can do in runs, is Super Mario Maker. So
I was going to get to that. So
tell me.
Going back to the professional versus entertaining.
Yeah.
I use the streamer Carl Sagan as a good example. He's a fantastic speedrunner, and he's funny as heck. And he's also very reactionary. Like if something goes wrong in Mario Maker, he squeals. He squeals like a pig. And also he loves adding educational bits. Like halfway through, someone will ask him a science question. He'll be like, "Good," and he'll pause and he'll talk. So he does a great job of hitting all of that, and Mario Maker's good because you get episodic ones where hey, today I'm going to do this guy's levels, and he's notoriously good, and so you kind of build off other people's popularity and it's
there's
really
a whole kind of
there's a community going on, and so Mario Maker's fun because you get to watch. You can watch people play garbage levels. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to play non-stop garbage. This is going to suck. These levels are suck. They're made by blind 3-year-olds. I don't know, they're terrible."
Right.
And nothing bad against the blind. I'm just saying you can't make a Mario level. Anyway.
It would be difficult.
And then he's like, "I'm going to play nothing but troll levels, brilliantly."
Can you filter them in Mario Maker? Can you, or did he find them?
Mario Maker 2 has the ability to, you can kind of categorize your level.
Okay.
But I think the way streamers like him work is that his Discord, people can recommend levels based on the kind of level.
These
He's
are troll levels.
Hey, we're going to recommend these. And if they get enough 1-ups, he's going to okay, so a lot of people really like this recommendation. So today I'm going to check out this.
That's cool.
So yeah, Mario Maker's great because you can watch an endless run, which is your stream, what do you call it? Your tower run.
Right. So in endless mode, you get 30 lives, and you can you just try to get through as many levels as you can.
Yeah.
With that, and so you can have runs of like you spent 30 lives on 2 levels because they're like super hard, especially if you do no skip. So some players skip, but you run out of lives eventually. How far can you get? And then there's versus. So there is a competitive aspect to Mario Maker as well. If you wanted to do the competitive stuff, where it puts you in a level with 3 other people, and the first one of the goal wins. And so you're trying to like, you're trying to get through the match, they're through the map, but you're also sort of trying to fuck them. So you'll like throw a shell at them maybe, or like pick them up and try and throw them off a cliff. Or if someone has the key, you jump on their head and take the key to get through the door in front of them. Like it's some cutthroat stuff. Yeah. So Mario Maker 2 is something that, what about streaming PvE content or PvP content? What do you guys prefer to watch? Do you prefer to watch PvE or PvP?
100% PvP.
Why is that?
I'm a competitive person by nature. I want to see somebody either get eviscerated or I want to watch somebody like come from the underdog behind. Like I just love watching PvP because I know that's another person playing, and I'm like, wow, massive failure or massive victory. Like to me, it's like that's otherwise you're just playing a robot. So like to me, like you're watching a robot play, like you're mindlessly watching somebody play something that you could do. Now, when you're doing a PvP, you're like, oh, this adds an entire different random thing to it because you don't know what the enemy's going to do. And so I get to watch this. And I'm like, oh, man, something might happen the way I think it's going to, or it might not. Now, when you're against PvE, it's just like, all right, well, this is robotic. You're doing the same path, the same thing. You can't deviate. Nothing will change from it. And it is like, unless you're going on that story-driven game, right? If you're specific. The story's not going to change. It's going to be there. The quests are going to stay the same. You're going to get maybe different random loot because that's an RNG game when it comes to the loot. But you're not fighting another enemy that's not programmed into the game.
So if you're going to play PvE, a recommendation that I would give is to have specific goals or things in mind. I'm going for this achievement. I'm going for this mount. I'm going for, because then you have like a thing that people are like rooting for and going for. Now, again, always exceptions, and you don't have to. If you want to play PvE and you just want to level, that gives you a lot of engagement. Because if you're doing mindless stuff, maybe you're slaying rats in the sewer, or
maybe you just want to collect the pieces of armor,
or you're just collecting armor, and and that gives you a lot of engagement opportunity with your audience. So this leads you to another point. One thing to keep in mind is that when you're streaming, I had one person when I was at SoonerCon ask me. They say, as a streamer, is your the gaming is secondary to the entertainment. Like your first priority is entertaining, your second priority is the game.
I would
play.
agree.
Yeah.
I said I do agree with you. I would tweak that. Your priority is actually engagement. Your priority is engagement, then entertainment, and then gameplay. Because if you're playing something, and hypocrisy, because I'm playing Sekiro and I've streamed the shit out of Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a very hard game to engage with your audience while you're playing. For me, because I'll be in a boss fight, and the boss fight's going to take 25, 30 minutes. Guess what? I'm not going to be looking at chat for 25, 30 minutes.
Yep.
So if you are really good at that, you obviously do it. But something to keep in mind is if something's going to be taking your focus for a long time and keeping you from interacting with chat, that may have an adverse effect on your stream.
Yeah,
I
like to.
I love that comment. No, it hit me in my heart. It exploded me from the inside.
But I mean,
welcome to the show, by the way, Tars.
It says, what game should you stream? So we've been talking an awful lot about like, here are some tips and advice, right? If you're going to play this game, you might want to play it well. You might want to be a good, but like, also you have to ask yourself, why are you streaming? If you're like, when I stream, I'm not in it to make any money. I have no delusions of financial profit here. I do it because it's a fun way to stay connected to like some of my friends and have them watch me while I'm goofing off. And if you're free and you hang out with me while I play Hellblade and get scared the shit out of by a fucking undead boar that attacks you after you defeat it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, cool, I beat that boss. Yeah, go me. Oh my god, it's still there. Like I had a whole freak out.
Yeah, your Hellblade playthrough was good.
So, why are you streaming is a big question. So like if you're really wanting to be like tons of views, potentially make money off of it, then you really got to start thinking even more strategic. Like you got to hit those popular games. You got to hit a game that somebody would want to watch.
I'm gonna counter you on that one. So if let's say you choose to play Fortnite, there are a lot of Fortnite viewers, but you are a small fish in a big pond. My apologies.
You gotta play a popular game, and you gotta be good at it, and you gotta be engaging with your audience, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be like, guys, watch me, I'm about to kick the shit out of this, and then you have to win. There's reasons why the top Twitch and Mixer people are fucking good at gaming. It's because people like that.
Right.
But you are also you could also be good at gaming, incredibly good at it, and a complete shut-in, and you don't want to talk to people, then you're gonna want to game on your own. Or streaming is also for people who.
Fish is normal sized.
But there's two ways to look at that too, JB. Because there's ways that sometimes that people who are streaming the game, they're just wanting to play the game, so they're not going to have a voice cam on. They're not going to have a camera on. They're not going to have their vocals there. They're just playing a game and they're just playing it online.
And that's kind of what I was addressing with the why are you streaming?
Okay,
true.
Yeah.
So if you're in it to win it with money and viewers and stuff like that, I think you have to narrow a little. If you're more of a social streamer like I was and hope to be again,
and besides,
then you have a lot more variety to you. Yeah. I can play whatever the hell I want, as dedicated or as hard as I want, and talk to my audience as much as I want without having to work.
Yeah, and I was gonna say there's other Twitch streams out there that they don't even play video games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's a good.
And we're sort of focusing on games for today's specific topic.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But in terms of the other stuff, though, that's all that's a very valid point. As I mentioned Lego streams earlier, right?
Yeah. You know who
building
I'd watch
Lego
stream is who was he? He paints the Warhammer 40K figures, and I literally just lost his name.
The guy that you interviewed?
He was on our
Lucas.
Lucas.
Yeah.
I would
You
love
would watch
I
a
would
Lucas
love
paint
to
mini
watch
stream. Yeah.
Somebody paint figurines. I could watch that.
Yeah.
I could all.
So you don't have to be a gamer to stream on Twitch, by the way. If you're watching this
absolutely.
and you were like, oh, what? But today's topic is sort of specific to gaming, but I do encourage you to stream anyway. Your social interaction doesn't really matter if you are good, and that is 100% true. So one of the Mario Maker streamers that I watch is Orator, and he doesn't really interact with the chat at all. Every now and then he'll glance over and respond or whatever. The chat mostly talks to each other.
Keeps itself going. Yeah.
But to do that, you have to be extremely good at the game. If you are an average player, though, I would not necessarily recommend, unless you are going to be extremely entertaining, something like Fortnite or a very popular game. You might think about creating your own space. So if you're like, oh, I see that there are not many viewers, so you have two options, right? You can take a popular game with a lot of views and try to siphon some of those people into your stream. That's a tactic. Or create something new. So when Loch Ness made the switch from Twitch to Mixer, by the way, go check out Hey Loch Ness stream. When she switched from Twitch to Mixer, it was mostly PUBG, Fortnite, some BR and competitive stuff. When she went over there, she was like, there's not a huge WoW presence here. So she created the WoW presence. Mm-hmm. If you are and WoW's a huge game, but if you are the Enter the Gungeon streamer, or let's say you're fucking bonkers at Mega Man 4, you're the Mega Man 4 streamer, you can do it that way. So you can create a presence. You're gonna come at those from two different ways. People tune in to watch professionals play like Steel Tactics to see how to play. Yeah, absolutely.
True. And again, I'm not saying that what I was suggesting earlier is the
only
way.
Yeah. But these are just things to think about.
You need to have some combination. Like if something's really good, you can sacrifice here. Otherwise, you need the ideal thing to be is a good popular game that's in right now. People are going to look for the popular game. They won't. Nobody. More people log on to Twitch to watch Fortnite than I think any other game pretty much. It changes
I think it's pretty consistently. I think it's pretty
say
safe.
that,
you can safely say Fortnite with a broad brush, yeah.
And but so then after they're like, okay, I'm going to watch Fortnite. I'm going to look for somebody who's good, and I'm also going to look for somebody who is entertaining.
Yeah.
Somebody who's good doesn't talk is certainly capable of being successful, as long if they're fucking amazing and like, hey, watch me break this thing.
Nightblue 3 started off like that for League of Legends.
So, there's a couple things. So Shepard Tone mentions a game that you enjoy can engage the audience, bring out the best qualities in an entertainer. Finding that mix is going to take some time. For sure. So I will say you're going to have to sort of figure it out, like put in the time and learn over the way. But now it brings me to another point, which is to, he talks about like trying to steal tactics from or someone who's good at the game. Even if you're not good at it, think about a game that you have a lot to say about. So for example, if you have been reading comics for 40 years or 20 years or 10 years or whatever, and you have a lot of thoughts about comics, Marvel comics.
Spider-Man.
Stream Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have a lot to say and a lot of thoughts and a lot of things to put out there.
I mean, that's what I was doing when I was streaming the Jurassic Park game. Like, I could give you, so much in-depth knowledge about the movies and the... And I never actually finished that stream. I gotta get back. I gotta finish that.
And to add on to your note, I was gonna say like maybe have like things to talk about to maybe queue up the chat.
It is good to take notes prior to a stream, and actually I need to start doing this myself. Give yourself some talking points or some questions to randomly throw out there. Just leave it in front of you, like I do with the podcast, right? So like you guys can't see this, but there's welcome. What you've been playing, VR games you have a lot to say about. Something games with goals and challenges like. These are notes for me to look down if you find yourself, you can go to. I will defend Mixer a little bit. I would think Mixer's still in the process of building.
They just took Ninja.
And they just took Ninja. So that retention thing may change.
That's some big news.
And there's a reason to watch Mixer. Mixer's community is very, very... The Mixer community that I have interacted with, let me say it that way, has been super sweet and super awesome. And they're just so happy that you're there. It's like finding a dive bar, kind of, and like, holy fucking shit, a customer. Come on in, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Well, if you want to stream very unsuccessfully and make no money, then you need to podcast like us.
Throw a podcast in there.
That's a good way to... That's a good way to work real hard.
To take it home when Stadia launches.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's I actually can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. Because Stadia is a very unknown quantity right now.
Let's just invest in it. Let's invest in
YouTube right now.
Let's get $1,000, put it in YouTube, see what happens.
YouTube doesn't speak to me.
I don't think that's going to work is just because the infrastructure's not there for like the internet and shit.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, like enough people don't have a fast enough internet to Stadia.
I think the amount of people that use YouTube on a daily basis, if you add streamers, it's not going to make a big enough wave on the amount of YouTube use. It's like a pebble in a friggin' pond here. Like YouTube is used universally all the time by everyone, all day long, all day, every day.
And there's gonna be an ebb and flow. Nauj mentions that is referring to, which I've never seen any statistic. I haven't seen any statistics on this, but references Ninja as a descending star. But even if your star's descending, you still have like more viewers than the other like number 2 and number 3 like combined. You're fine. You're doing fine. It's still a huge get. It doesn't matter. So something else to keep in mind. So you have the games with runs, games with, we've mentioned like in segments, something bite-sized that you can play or do a run with. We've mentioned games with goals, games that you're good at, games that you have a lot to say and talk about. What is a game that you would have a lot to say and talk about?
Here you go. You don't even gotta stream games, man. You could just stream yourself eating potato chips, and the ASMR freaks like me will stream and watch that all day. Like, oh shit, this dude's eating freaking Fritos. Let's go.
Right.
Boom, I'm in. Like,
that's what we need. We need to do a food challenge one of these times too, Steve-O. I think we should.
Like, Mean Mountain Part 2?
What?
Yeah.
Meat Mountain Part 2?
That's right. Meat Mountain Part 2, but we need to stream it this time.
We go to like
we did stream.
a wing stop or something, or like.
I'm not doing a flaming challenge.
No
for me.
But wait, why not? You're not a spicy guy? You know Spicy Boy?
Oh, Waffle House.
Fuck.
Let's
let's
do a stream.
Waffle House challenge.
Let's do a stream from Waffle House where you eat as much Waffle House as you can without having diarrhea and see.
I've never had diarrhea from Waffle House.
That joke is funny, but totally not accurate. I could eat 1,000.
I love Waffle House. I love the awful
I'll
waffle.
get dysentery.
As dirty as they look, that's pretty clean.
Diarrhea is not accurate. It's more of a dysentery, kill you from the inside.
It's more of an internal bacteria eating you from the inside out.
I mean, nothing a little penicillin can.
I'm just really offended you disrespected the awful waffle over there.
So here's the thing. I've gone on a Waffle House rant before. I like Waffle House because watching someone fix breakfast with a cigarette in their mouth reminds me of my dad.
Oh, there's no what? No. Wow.
Well, not all the time.
So you like Waffle House
May have been a Jim Gaffigan
Hey, a
joke.
little ash in your eggs is good for you.
That may have been a Jim Gaffigan joke, by the way.
Strengthens the immune system.
I think that's a Jim Gaffigan joke. So what's a game that you guys that fires you up? Because this is sort of my last point. Whether you're good at the game or not, whether part of what will make you entertaining is a game that gives you a lot of energy and or maybe upsets you. You know what I mean? Something that fires you up, something that you're into. What are you guys into?
I mean,
League of Legends.
But all day, League of Legends.
You have, but that's a highs and lows thing, right?
It's a highs and lows thing, because you can get triggered. But see, during the game though, you can your team could be losing, but you can bring them back to victory. If with proper
you can be that MVP.
control, you exactly. You can be the MVP. You can control the game with your positivity, or it just the outcome, your builds, whatever you choose to do.
So my answer will be two creativity games. I don't like watching it. I found I have a hard time watching it, but would love someday to stream a D&D or tabletop role-playing game.
I have a tough time watching D&D streams.
But I would love to stream it myself.
Yeah.
On the opposite end, I would never play it as a stream because I'd get too stressed out, but I love watching streams of Mario Maker because I love the creativity. So I love seeing
I tend to
what I
check
call
out
like the art pieces. Man, just create something brilliant that we get to all enjoy.
I check out if I see someone's playing Super Mario Maker 2, I'm like, ooh, sweet. And I go there. If they're level creating, I check back out.
Right. I want to watch
the action.
Created levels.
Right.
You want to watch the creation.
Right.
Oh no, I don't like watching the creation. I like watching people play really cool created levels or themed levels. It's just a lot of fun to see what has been done.
What's a game that fires you up, like gets you in there?
I would probably stream Overwatch.
Yeah.
And probably some of those dungeon grinder game or indie games that I have.
What about? Oh, and Cal, you said League of Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I can talk a lot about Overwatch. The different characters, the map.
I can do that. I can do that exactly with League too. Yeah.
I think this is part of what Sekiro is speaking to me is it's so challenging that it gets my heart going. And the same thing with the Souls games is sometimes even in PUBG, there are times where as that number ticks down, right? It's 10, 8, it's us and 4 other people. My adrenaline's yeah.
He can make it. He can. Oh no, he died.
Right. So here, let's touch on if you are wanting to stream and you don't have a budget. Just last thing, some games that you might want to check out that we've mentioned that are free.
League of Legends free.
There you go.
That's a free game.
If you want to try out a handful of things that might work for you that have been some of these that we've hit, League of Legends is free.
Fortnite's free.
Fortnite is free. Paladins.
I was gonna say
is free.
Realm Royale.
Realm Royale is free. So Realm Royale and Fortnite are battle royale games. Paladins is a free version of Overwatch.
And what's the other one? Apex.
Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Is free.
Ring of
Dota 2 is
Dota
free.
2 is free.
Is Ring of Elysium? I can't remember if that
Ring of
is
Elysium is free.
It's free?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's imagine if PUBG worked. That's Ring of Elysium.
Isn't it Korean PUBG?
They actually have I think they have an English version now. You used to have to use a third-party thing to translate it. I think it now has a
Team Fortress.
Team Fortress 2 is free.
Yeah.
The Team Fortress 2 is also a competitive multiplayer game. First-person shooter, yes?
Yes.
It's in first person, yes?
Rocket League
it's
is your other.
Rocket League is not free.
It's not free?
No, it is
It's like
not.
$20.
It is.
$20.
It's on Game
I
Pass.
thought it was.
So if you do Game Pass, either your PC Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass, it's included in the Game Pass.
Okay, that might be why I thought it was.
What else? Is there anything else? If you go to Steam.
Steve-O's hard drive free.
Steal them from a hard drive. Divs is the thing that Blizzard copied to create Overwatch. Yeah, I remember because they there were different, right? You had the spy, you had your doctor, the gunner,
engineer.
the engineer. Thank you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is Counter-Strike free?
No. That's CS:GO. No, that's not free.
CS:GO is free?
No.
No. Okay.
We'd have to see. I'd have to look into it.
Long.
Yeah, it's been so long.
Probably like $20 if anything.
I can look.
Yeah, and the CS:GO is free. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, CS:GO is free now.
Thank you.
It used to not be. That's what it was.
So Counter-Strike is a non-hero based, like it's a.
But good luck in that.
Huh?
That's pretty.
It's quick. Ooh, that's a pin perfect. You got to be a good ass shot in that game. But it's a team-based first-person shooter. But it's not hero-based like Overwatch or Paladins. You just have you're just people. Yeah. You're just guns.
Never mind. I was gonna say Rainbow Six, but that's not.
Rainbow Six is not free, but Rainbow Six is a fun.
Oh, so much fun.
Is a fun game to play. You have the tactics. You have the matches. You can get the blood pumping and start screaming at each other. There are heroes essentially in Rainbow Six.
Yes.
Is what they call them, operatives.
Classes.
No,
they're
Rainbow
operatives.
Six, they're like,
each operative, you don't choose a class. Each operative has their own
unique character and ability. Yeah. Or character with their own unique abilities.
Yeah. So anybody in chat, if you have a question like about your specific stream, if you have trouble coming up with a game to play, or if you have a thing that's your channel's about, if you're a retro gamer, and you're trying to figure out what to play next, feel free to ask any questions that you have while we go to the can. This is our Gunners fan can. It's just like an Ask Me Anything can. It's upgraded too. Look at it. It's from Shark.
I just want Oscar the Grouch to pop out of there.
What's that?
I said I want Oscar the Grouch to pop out of there.
Fuck you, Steve.
I was going to do an Oscar the Grouch
really
impersonation. I realized that I don't remember what Oscar the Grouch sounds like.
That's okay.
I'm not going to imitate
I can't even attempt it. I was going to
He's got
like
a real
an asshole.
nasally voice.
Hey, bird.
Yeah.
No, he's not so grungy.
A little less grungy. Anyway, this is an Ask Me Anything. If you want to ask us a question, send us a tweet at Gunners using #FanCan. We'll add it to the FanCan, draw one out, and answer it randomly at the end of the podcast. What you got? Can you read my...
It's more of a yes or no question.
Sure.
Can we get a Kawaii Desu Nightbot plushie?
What?
Kawaii Desu.
Oh.
Kawaii Desu
Nightbot plushie.
What's that?
Like
is that a body pillow?
It's a super... Kawaii Desu is anime super cute.
Kawaii.
And so we want to get like a cute
Nightbot plushie
except
pillow.
Nightbot plushie.
But
Okay.
Nightbot doesn't have a...
A Nightbot sex doll?
Nightbot doesn't have a physical form.
It's just a
Nightbot doesn't have a physical form or even like a remote.
We can give Nightbot a physical form.
Right, but it could be anything. We'd be
Okay,
like, hey,
so
look,
what would...
look, here we are.
What would
this is Nightbot.
What would Nightbot look like? What do you think
isn't he-
Nightbot looks like?
Actually,
I think he'd like a very all-black robotic knight. Like,
What? No, just what? A robotic knight.
and he's Nightbot.
I've always been...
Actually, that's pretty literal, but I like it.
The pun on
No, no, that's pretty... I like it.
All black and
like a
starry.
really boxy looking,
kinda
like
Demon
almost
Slayer.
Minecraftian looking robot.
What's that little brown thing that looks like a piece of shit with a big open mouth?
What?
That's a really mean thing to call Calvin.
No, the little
I don't know, I don't
the
know
little
anything.
thing that's like it's like
clam?
got a munchy face.
A Pokemon?
It's like a little brown
like
creature.
Doku or something like that.
I don't know.
He looks like Meat Boy.
Are you
Yes,
talking
he looks like Meat Boy.
Sounds like you're talking about a Pokemon.
No.
No,
I think I know what you're talking about now.
and he's got like the big mouth,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
jagged, and he's
What is
I don't
that
know
thing?
anything.
I'm thinking that.
Bree would know.
that's the thing I'm thinking of when I think Nightbot.
But yeah, with Nightbot, so a little short, maybe sort
And
of like
gray instead of
but
brown.
gray, and sort
Hold
of a
on,
mix
I'm on
between
it, I'm
that
on
guy and the android. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what I.
Somewhere around there, a little plushie. So no, you can't get that because we don't know how to make plushies. But also, we don't own Nightbot.
Yeah.
So we can't make merch for
I don't think
Nightbot.
anyone
We can-
owns
we can
Nightbot.
try.
Do the people own Nightbot?
Does anyone know?
No,
own
just-
Nightbot?
I own Nightbot in the sense that he does what the fuck I tell him to.
Can we make
Yeah,
trash? Can we,
fucking Nightbot.
Like
do
reminding you
your
guys
shit.
to check out our merch store up there.
I was gonna say like trash
Domo.
Domo!
Domo,
Oh, for God's
yeah.
sake,
Can.
yeah.
I say like trash can gutterbot. We can make.
We could do a little Gutterbot, yeah.
We can make
Like a
gutterbot.
had some legs. He's gonna end up looking like Fruit Fucker from Penny Arcade.
Except Nightbot would not be Domo, it'd be like Domo because you hate him so much.
I hate
I mean,
Nightbot.
do we like Nightbot or do we hate Nightbot?
Well, that's up to you. You can make that decision. But Calvin and I say don't trust the goddamn beat boops.
Yeah, don't fucking trust the beep.
Yeah, you're wrong. I think I say thank you to all my beep boops. Except for the Beep Boop, which is the name we gave our vacuum. Alicia even calls him Beep Boop.
Really?
Because he's so dumb.
Cal, you started a trend, buddy.
I know I did.
He
Yeah,
gets stuck under things and cries for help, and I'm like, Beep Boop, you're useless. And then I'll like, but everything else,
Fucking beep boops.
Alexa, Siri, and all them, I'm like, oh, thank you so much because you know
Can you
what?
rename them to beep boop?
When they take over the world, they're gonna bust down my door and be like, you were one of the good ones.
That's fine. I want him to fucking kill me. If the beat boops take over, get me out of here.
Game over, bro.
I don't want this shit.
We need to get in another.
Yeah, but
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
What robot dicks do you think you're gonna be sucking?
You trying to get the oil out, bro?
Whoa.
Like, what is this?
They're just gonna be like, you know what? Don't cause us any trouble. We're gonna go off and do amazing things. You need to just be in this room and play video games all day and literally stay out of the way. I'm like, you got it.
Yeah.
The robots would do like a threat assessment on me, and they'd be like, body type. No, he's fine. Just leave him alone.
-3.
-3, yeah. He says threat level -3.
He'll do us more good if he fights.
He's more likely to injure another human than he is to just keep that fuck around. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Next week is Game Night Season 2 finale.
Okay.
The finale of Season 2 is next week.
Meow.
So we're going to play Brawlhalla.
Oh,
Because you
you're telling
can
us this
have,
now
it's
because
a
we can get it.
it's a 7-way tie. And so we have to find a game to break a 7-way tie.
Uh-huh.
And Brawlhalla will let us fight.
Is that game free?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna download that tonight. I'm gonna get it.
Are we actually gonna be like pre-planning and getting good at it? Or
Why
is this
not?
You guys have always been. I have always
I've
told you
never-
ahead of time what the game was.
That's true.
I've always avoided it for the sake of even playing field of us being all garbage.
So usually we
I would
learn
buy
the
that
game
modern
and
system
play
as
it.
well.
Usually we learn the game and play it
Cal
at
is
the
the
same
kind of guy
time.
who would,
But
you
not
know what?
always.
That's gonna make us beating him all the better.
Right.
You play.
Give
away
it a
from
shot.
him. But
Give it a
remember,
shot. Give it a
taking
shot.
away from
I'm-
your auto chess time.
I'm considering going ahead and like it's a free game. You get like 8 or 10 heroes, and there's like 20 or 30 heroes or whatever. I'm thinking about going ahead and unlocking like buying the rest of the heroes just so you guys have a bunch of people to choose from, just for fun's sake. But it is free if you want to get the basics of the game. It's sort of like a
Brawl.
Smash Brothers.
it's a simpler version of
it's a
Smash
Viking
Brothers.
Smash Brothers.
It's a brash Smothers.
Yeah, it's a brash Smothers. But join us next week for game night, and the next stream is going to be Wednesday night as Sam and I continue our Ashen co-op playthrough. If you guys are watching on Twitch, keep hanging out because we'll chat with you or maybe pull up some
Let's
TFT.
pull up some TFT. Let's do it.
We'll see if we can do that. I think we can do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
I
Yeah.
wasn't set up for it, but I think we can do it.
Yeah.
But if you're watching us on YouTube, listening to our audio podcast, this is where we leave you. My name is Steve-O,
I'm Alex.
I'm JB.
Calvin.
and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.